we're on the last pass here. What I'm doing right now is rolling the soybeans after we planted them. So behind me there you can see a roller. It is basically just big steel drums that pack the ground. They push in rocks and make the ground just a bit more level. So the reason for doing this is when soybeans grow and they pod, the seeds actually are only about 2 inches off the ground. So you could lay a 2x4 flat, and that's how low to the ground you'd have to harvest. So you're basically just shaving it, there's nothing left. So when you're doing this, you run the risk of picking up dirt, which would lower the grade, picking up stones, which would damage equipment, and all sorts of stuff along those lines. The other little fact is that when you leave soybeans on the ground, you leave money there. So at about 4 soybeans, like the actual bean themselves, if you had 4 of those in 1 square foot, that would equal 1 bushel. Now a bushel is a volumetric measurement, and it is kind of how we measure seed. Now if you were to relate that to dollars, right now the price of soybeans for about 1 bushel is in that $15 range. It can fluctuate a bit, it can go up to 16 or as low as 14, and that's just changes as the markets change. So you can kind of see that if we leave that seed down there, and it can be a lot more than 4 seeds per square foot, so it's very important to harvest low to the ground to make sure that we're getting as much as possible. And just rolling that land for us helps us to do that. If you noticed, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to the camera right now. I'm still driving. I don't have GPS, which means I don't have auto steer, which means I do have to actually steer the tractor, unlike some people or some of our own equipment, which will steer for me. So it's kind of an olden style thing. It's kind of going by the wayside a bit. But anyways, here's another look at that piece of equipment. So you can see it's rolling out. It's 50 feet wide, and it's good for us. One other little note here, it's starting to rain. That's not a good thing when you're rolling, because it can crust, and the soybean, when it tries to grow, might actually get stuck in the ground and not come out, and that would basically kill it. So I'm going to finish up here, and hopefully everything works out well, and that's what we're doing today. So thanks for tuning in.